Hi guys, so I decided to make another video on my Monte Carlo. This is the 1.5 DSG, and I believe I had taken delivery of this vehicle just over a month ago. I believe it's been 2 months. So guys, before we continue with the video, I had made a previous video on my YouTube channel which you guys can check out about my initial thoughts. Now this is my more collective thoughts, what I think about the car now since I've driven just about 1,700 kilometers. Do I like it? Do I not like it? Am I gonna sell it? So I'm pretty much gonna discuss the things I don't like about the car, the things that Skoda could have done better, and what I recommended to you guys. So let's start off with some of the things I don't like about the car. Now keep in mind guys, this is my opinion. All owners have their own opinions on the things they like, they don't like about the car. So keeping that in mind, let's start off with the plastics. As you can see, they get scratched very easily. Now keep in mind, this is all dirt. Even after cleaning it almost every other day, it just keeps coming on. These are marks from your hands, and yeah. So despite the scratches and the marks that gets left over after some use, the other things I don't like about the car that I've noticed, the first thing is the power windows. Like whenever I roll it down, first of all, it makes that really loud noise. That's something I don't like. And secondly, getting back to my point, is whenever I used to pull it up, instead of going up, it would just go back down. And they usually change the motors in this, and they said that they fixed the issue, but a lot of people still face this issue. That's the first thing I found out that I don't like about the car after driving it for such a long time. The second thing I actually don't like about the car is the auto start stop. Now the only reason why I don't like it, as this is the 1.5 automatic, so usually when you stop, the car switches off, and what happens is as soon as the car starts to turn back on, the car would just roll back. And this feature definitely kicks in during peak traffic hours, and the car rolling back during peak traffic when people are bumper to bumper, it's just an accident waiting to happen. So I barely use this option during traffic because the car just starts to roll back, and I didn't find that feature safe at all. And moving on, a thing that I don't like as well is something that I've noticed since the very first day I had bought the car. And what it is it's basically a sound that comes whenever the car comes to a full stop. When you apply the brakes and the car fully stops, it makes this sound. It's not really of a brake squeaking noise, but it just happens. If you guys own a Kushaq, I think you guys might know what I'm talking about. A lot of people bring it up on the Facebook groups, and it's an issue that I've been facing since the very first day I've picked it up. I've talked to my sales advisor, my service advisor, and they can't really come up with a resolution, and a lot of people are facing this issue as of now. Now, no doubt, this is one of the first batch vehicles. These vehicles are known to have some common issues. In fact, every single car that just comes out usually goes through a couple of issues. Like the XUV 700 had an issue with the displays, the suspension, and various other things where the car would just shut off while driving as well. Now keep in mind, since I've driven this, I have faced no EPC issues, no engine light issues. My car hasn't randomly shut off, and I've pretty much been enjoying my ownership experience so far. It's just one thing that I wish that Skoda could have improved was when it comes to the braking. Now, as you guys might know, in all the Kushaqs, the front brakes are calipers with discs, and the rear braking system are basically just drums. So I feel like when you're paying such a premium compared to some of the other competitors in this segment, braking could have been improved. One more thing that I don't like about this vehicle is the suspension. I believe it is way too stiff. Now don't get me wrong, if you're into sporty driving, it is definitely one of the best things for a car to have. Stiff suspensions are one of the best things to have, But if you live in a state like mine where the roads are terrible, there are too many bumps on the roads, there are too many potholes, it becomes a pain driving over them, because you feel like you're gonna break the car if you go at a really fast speed. So definitely the stiff suspension part I don't like. If there would be a way to make it a bit more comfortable, I probably would. But if I probably didn't live in such an environment, I would definitely love the stiff suspension. However, if you do plan on buying it, keep one thing in mind. The passenger seat you have over here, this is fully planted to the floor. You can't raise it any higher than this. Now, keeping that in mind, another thing that you guys should know is these are more bucket-like seats. All right, what do I mean by bucket-like seats? So these seats pretty much hug you in, and if you are slightly obese during long road trips, this can be something that you may start hating about the car. But if you're a skinny person, it should be perfectly fine. It should in fact add more to the experience of keeping you on your seat. Now, finally, there is one more thing that I dislike about the car. Now, driving it the amount I have driven, I've started hearing some noise coming in the interior. I believe it's rattling. Some people have faced rattling behind this panel. Some people have faced rattling behind that panel. But it's not so much of an issue since the Skoda service center is taking care of the situation. In my case personally, one day I hear it, one day I don't. But there are many things that you can do to avoid such things, maybe like upgrading the tires to a better quality tire, something like a Michelin or Pirelli. Not even the sport ones, but just having like a good all-season tire should sort this issue, as the tires that these cars come with, I believe, is not of good quality compared to Michelin's. Now let's move on to the performance. Let's move on to how I'm liking the driving capabilities of the car so far. So as per my experience, again, when it comes to this segment, this is one of the best when it comes to performance, when it comes to sportiness. Like the engine, the transmission being one of the best. I believe no other car in this segment, other than its sister car, the Taycan, can offer such capabilities in such a rigid vehicle. Now, in my previous video, I had mentioned that the car does not feel premium enough. It doesn't, the quality doesn't feel too good for a car you're paying 23-24 lakhs in. Now, to justify my previous comment in that video, now guys, keep one thing in mind. So Skoda is a brand from the Czech Republic, but Skoda is also owned by Volkswagen Group. So if you look at all of the vehicles that is associated with the Volkswagen Group, you think of nothing but the amazing build quality that comes with a German car. So now, technically speaking, this car is also somewhat German in that regard then. But keeping that in mind, when we talk about this segment, this car is definitely far better than any other option that's available right now in the market, which is the reason why I bought this Monte Carlo. Now, keeping that in mind, would I recommend it to other people? Definitely go for it. It's a very solid product. One of the reasons why I chose this car was its safety. Now, Skoda is known for their build quality. It's known for how amazing their safety standards are. And, unfortunately, a lot of cars in this segment, they don't offer that. Now, Tata is definitely upcoming. You can see their crash test ratings improving day by day. But when it comes to the Kia, when it comes to the Hyundai, it's just not as good as the Kushaq. One more thing that I didn't like about the car is, first of all, on road you're paying around 23, 24, 25 lakhs in some states. But the first thing I don't like about the car is it has manual seats. Other than that, the seating position for, let's say, the passenger seat is too low. Still, the driver's side is adjustable. You can take it up, down, whatever. whereas this is fixed and it's all the way straight to the floor. Now, if you guys ask me, would I recommend this car? Would you recommend someone to buy it? Would you recommend someone not to buy it? What should you look out for? I would say, look, it really depends for what you want. If you mainly want features, if you want a better audio system, if you want a 360 camera, if you want better design seats, definitely then Japanese cars are the best in this segment. However, if you want the best transmission, if you want the best engine, if you want the best performance, if you want the best safety standards, there's nothing better than the Kushaq, in my opinion. Keeping that in mind, now some other rivals in the segment have come out with more sportier lines. Those cars still lack in some ways, whether it's safety, whether it's build quality, whether it's whatever. So I would definitely recommend, if you plan on buying this for your family. I personally don't use it as a family vehicle, but I would definitely recommend it. Definitely, please go test drive it. Try to have a long-term test drive where you can have it for the week, and tell me your thoughts. Would you recommend it to someone? Have you faced any issues, etc.?